what's up? Skelty M Cop 37 with another DH&T. And it's Friday the 27th? Is that right? Oh, well, I should probably know today. Anyway, it's Friday. So, the topic for today will be why I still play 2nd edition with some house rules instead of what I see as a perfectly reasonable 5th edition. So there really is only a few reasons, none of which are cataclysmic or stand your ground type reasons. The first and most obvious to me, and those that know me well, would be I do not believe that a rule set makes or heightens or lessens one's ability to have fun with a game. I have played 1st edition, 2nd, 3rd a little, and a little of 5th. And what I've found is that if you're playing with the same people throughout any edition, the dynamic of the game stays the same. I think that those gamers that want to be able to cause a lot of damage will play or gravitate to those characters, and every other thing. People that want to play elves still can play elves. There is the occasional person who will play any and all types of characters and do them all with the same ebullience, but I don't think I don't think that's the majority of players. I think the majority of players gravitate to a certain archetype, and that's perfectly fine, because they get to have fun, and if that's what brings them the most joy, then there you go. Now, obviously, if they're going for that archetype because they think it gives them some type of mechanical advantage, then it would be upon the dungeon master to create challenges for those types of characters, and just like any other character. So I mean, it's the old tried and true axiom, the dungeon master is the one that creates and levels the playing field. There are those players that fall into the quiet one, the one that's loud, the one that wants to be the hero, the one that wants to seduce their way in game. So I don't think any of that changes depending on the rule set. Now, so that's my first reason for not switching. The second reason, almost as important, but just barely like, is TSR's long gone, and TSR are the guys and gals that put out 2nd edition based on the 1st, based on whatever came before it. So they're not making any new stuff. Now, independent people probably are somewhere. There's a few websites, well, one main website that I go to that I know that they still make their own content and put it out there for anyone to download. And I treat that like any other content where if it's cool, I'm like, hey, that's cool. And then I'll slip part of it in somewhere else. But I don't need to, the urge to buy the latest cool thing is completely removed. And as someone who does tend to buy a lot of things just to have a complete set of them, I find that that's great, that I don't have to buy anything else. As a matter of fact, between me, you, and the entire world, you can get all of that stuff online for free. I didn't create that system. I didn't, it is what it is. I mean, not obviously, I have most, if not all of that stuff in original printed form. But if you really wanted to play the older editions, you can get it for free in places. Whatever. So that's reason number 2. I don't need to spend any money. Now that doesn't mean I don't spend money on my hobby, because I'm always buying flip mats and researching on how to upgrade the cameras that go around the table, so I can get a nice looking thing where each of the in a perfect world, I'd have a camera, just like a lot of streams on Twitch or YouTube, where there's a camera on one side of the table, camera on the other side of the table, a camera that faces down onto the battle mat, or in my case the whiteboard, and then a camera on the Dungeon Master myself. And that's really all you need, because you get so much from the non-verbal cues of seeing that person and the way they do things or act or whatever. That to me is, I'm sure you can get non-verbal cues playing online or through a virtual tabletop. I don't know how, but there's something about being in person that to me is worth the effort of showing up, basically. It's not, I enjoy sports, but I don't go to a lot of sporting events because the tickets are expensive and you have to walk a ways to go to the restroom or the snack bar or whatever, where when you're in my house, the restroom is 20 feet away, the kitchen 15 foot away the other direction, and very comfortable. So, and it's paid for. So, I'm trying to think if there's a third reason why I haven't switched. Well, I can only compare it to 5th and 3rd, is that I think the idea of always getting something when you advance in a level is okay, but I find myself, when I played 5th edition, I was always really looking forward to going up a level to get that cool new thing. And it's cool and it's a thing, but it just adds more math or things you have to remember, more options. Now some people that's a complexity on a game that I like in the combat part, not like a roll master type, but my player's option, that combat is more complicated than 5th edition combat, but I like it in the combat portion of the game. And when I say that, I mean like the timing aspects. Maybe it's just the simple fact that you can, things happen and then the next person gets to go, and then it can theoretically come back to you for another part of your turn on the same round. And that's normal in the player's option battles rules. And I don't believe I've seen that in any other edition. I'm sure one of you very smart individuals who watches these things can put in the comments if there is a system like that. I'm not familiar with every system. There's way more systems and rule sets than I'll ever get around to. I don't have it in me to try and seek out all those different rule sets, because I like the one I'm using. If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with, well, whatever that means. Oh, anyway, so that's about it. I mean, the combat and tactics rules for 2nd edition, or what we like to call 2.5, they're very similar to the 5th edition. Now, I never played 4th, so I don't know about that. But the 5th edition, you're moving in squares if you're using figs. So it's very similar. I guess the idea of you getting to move and then attack and then move and run over far away and attack again it's something that where I'm like, meh. And in the combat and tactics, you can move 1 square with each attack if you have multiple attacks, but not like, say, 20 feet. And to me, that just I like it better. So if that makes it less better for some people, then that's okay. Anyway, that's why I haven't switched. I mean, but whoever you game with, they're going to act the same way. So if somebody's annoying in 2nd edition, they're annoying in 5th. Anyway, if you have any thoughts, put them down in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. Share it. With the COVID virus going on, I've tuned in to Lord Gosumba's Twitch channel. He streams his Thursday night game. What I can tell about it is that it's he seems to set up the scenery and then there's a fight, more than like a lot of role playing. That might just be because I haven't watched it long enough. But they seem to really enjoy themselves, and they've been playing for a lot longer than I have. So they must be doing something right. And that's all that matters. So we will catch you next time with another topic. And roll them 20s.